Welcome to the live. Happy Friday, family. Happy Friday. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome. Happy Friday. Welcome to the live. Lay live. Today we're talking about how narcissists use spells to trap empaths in the hell realm and how to escape. So tell peace, greetings. Tell somebody to join this live. And I'm your host, Dr. Nana Gyesie, shamanic leadership guide and transformational coach here at Inner Mileage, where we help folks understand the trauma-based roots of limiting self-beliefs and how to overcome them and take inspired action to create your heaven right here, right now. That's what we're all about. So welcome in. Today, we're talking about how narcissists use spells to trap empaths in the hell realm and how to escape. Come on in and tell somebody and join us. That's what we're talking about today. We're breaking spells today. Hey, Mara, what it is, Mara. Glad you made it. I'm happy you're here. Sending good energy to you, Mara. Welcome. Come on in. Tell somebody to come in. Here, today we're going to be talking about how narcissists use spells and spell work to trap empaths in the hell realm and how to escape that. How to escape the spells of the narcissist. This is what we're talking about today. So come on in, get comfortable, tell somebody. We're going to be dispelling the myth of spells and breaking spells and helping you escape the hell realm if you're still stuck in hell. This is what today is about. I'm your host for the day, Dr. Nana Gyesie, shamanic leadership guide and transformational coach here at Inner Mileage. This is what we do. Hey, Dawn Marie, welcome in. Today, we're talking about how narcissists use spells to trap empaths in the hell realm and how to break free from it. So we've talked about this before, but today we'll bring you a different spin on it to continue to get on this mission of escaping the hell realm. This is what we're talking about today. And what I would do is speak for about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll take some questions. So welcome in. We're going to start in a minute or so. But today we're talking about how to escape the hell realm, how narcissists use spells to trap empaths in the hell realm, and how empaths can escape the hell realm. This is what we're talking about today. So come on in. This is what we're talking about today. This is the message today. This is the message. So come on in and let's get into it, right? This is what we're going to be talking. We're talking today about how narcissists use spells to trap empaths in the hell realm. Hi, Relax with Goddess Meditation. This is what we're talking about today. So welcome in. Tell somebody. Glad you're here, and we're going to get started very, very soon. We're just trying to get situated here, have a few more people join. But again, the message today is how narcissists use spells to trap empaths in the hell realm and how to escape. So if you've been here before, if you're going through it now, if you know someone who's going through it, this is where you want to be. And for those who I haven't met before, my name is Dr. Nana Gyesie. I'm the shamanic leadership guide and transformational coach here at Inner Mileage. So let's get started. You see, a lot of us were taught that spells are myth, right? Fictional relics of a primitive world, a world that doesn't exist. But here's the truth. The truth is, hey, Jill of Goddess, the truth is the most powerful spells are cast through words, trauma, institutions, and silence. Let me say that again. The most powerful spells are cast through words, trauma, institutions, and silence. And you've already been under one. And if you're an empath like me, a soul tuned to feel more, see more, and suffer more, then you've been the primary target of a matrix that doesn't want you awakened. You see, and I'm saying that I am an empath because other people told me I'm an empath. I'm not just calling myself an empath, right? You know this when it's reflected to you. So if you're an empath, a soul that's tuned to feel more, see more, and even suffer more, then you've been the primary target of a matrix that doesn't want you or didn't want you awakened. Why? Why? You might ask, why? It's because empaths carry a frequency that unravels falsehoods at its roots. Spells, right? That's exactly like Galena. Spells are the prison bars. Your body is the battlefield of Big Bang Hank, and your soul is the treasure. That's what they're going for, the soul. So we're not just talking about spiritual theory. This is scientific, this is psychological, and it's also energetic. And today we're going to unmask it all. So let me start with the definition of a spell. What exactly is a spell? What is a spell? A spell is not simply a chant in a cauldron lit forest with some old person going, hey, bum, 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 bum. No. A spell is a programming function, a software installation into the human mind and biofield. Let me say that again. A spell is not simply a chant in some cauldron lit forest, some old person, witch or wizard going, hey, I'm going to do this to them, Harry Potter, da, 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 da. No, a spell, chill, I'm going, a spell is a programming function, like a software installation into the human mind and biofield. It's exactly what advertisers do when they repeat the same slogan over and over and over and over again. It's the same thing what abusers do when they say things like, you're nothing without me. You're nothing without me. You're nothing without me. And it's the same thing how institutions keep us under the spell by saying, this is how it is. It is what it is. This is what it is. You see? And let me be clear. A spell is a multi-sensory imprint. A multi-sensory imprint that rewires your belief, behavior, and identity. And this spell can be delivered through language, what is spoken, right? Through symbols like crosses or flags, through repetition, which is why the best way to reprogram yourself is to use affirmations as well. Because repetition comes in the form of mantras or propaganda, right? It also happens through rituals like weddings or baptisms or funerals or board meetings, right? And it also happens through emotional trauma. Emotional trauma is the fastest way for a spell to be cast. I mean, somebody tell me if I'm talking to you. Please tell me. Because what a spell does is the spell activates your limbic brain. Your limbic brain bypasses logic, the logic of the prefrontal cortex. And therefore, it encodes itself deeply in your nervous system. And it feels like truth, but it's a software implant. Let me say this again. A spell activates your limbic brain. That's the part of your brain, thank you, SN1, that bypasses logic. And logic is in your prefrontal cortex. Therefore, by bypassing logic, it encodes itself deeply into your nervous system and begins to feel like truth. You see what I'm saying, Global? Global. Tony, am I talking to you? Tell me. So, you know what a spell is. Now, let's get into what the purpose of a spell is, Serafi. What is the purpose of a spell? Spells are not inherently evil. They are tools, because anytime you say I am, you're casting a spell on yourself, right? And hopefully you're casting good spells on yourself, saying I am beautiful, I am abundant, I am handsome, I am the best, and taking action to support that. But why are spells cast? So in elite systems, whether they are spiritual or political or familial, spells are cast for a number of reasons, and I'll go through just a few of them. The first reason why spells are cast is to, guess what? Control your thoughts. Why and how? The implant of the illusion appears to be something you're choosing freely, while all your options have been pre-selected for you. This is what the narcissist does, whether it's an individual or a family system or a societal system. So the first reason why a spell is cast is to control your thoughts. Then when your thought is controlled, game is over. The next is to shape your identity. If you've ever experienced a doppelganger energy or a copycat energy, you know what I'm saying. And it's designed to shape your identity by using the repeated use of labels like, oh, you're too sensitive, or you're too harsh, or you're overthinking. And these things are designed to install false personas into you, which exile your true self. Am I talking to you? Somebody tell me on Instagram if I'm talking to you. Somebody tell me on TikTok if I'm not just making this up. The third reason why spells are cast after it's controlled your thoughts and has shaped your identity is to instill fear of shame. Thank you. There can only be one king or queen. I love that. It's to install fear or shame. In other words, the most potent spells don't make you feel powerless. They make you believe you deserve to be powerless. Shihan Quiet Storm. That's a beautiful name. Let me say that again. The most potent cells, thank you, Serafi. The most potent cells do not make you feel powerless. Anne Marie 3845. They make you believe you deserve to be powerless, Mother Nature. So these are three reasons. And I'll go to two more. The fourth is to energetically bind you or sever you from your purpose, Mara. In other words, think of spells as a toxic cord that is linking you to unresolved sexual, emotional, or even financial entanglements that linger, Dawn Marie. Think of it as dissociation. Your soul is pushed out of the body due to spiritual trauma. And the fifth reason, Adele, the topic is how narcissists use spells to trap empaths in the hell realm and how empaths can escape. Did you get that? The fifth reason is to sustain systems of power. So spells are cast which turn empaths into workers, fixers, forgivers, or caretakers because you are the battery that powers the illusion of the narcissist or the narcissistic system strength. And you realize that in every abusive dynamic, there is spell casting at work. And in every revolution of healing, there is counter spell work. Counter spell work. You see what I'm trying to tell you? Retro Gore, that's exactly it, Tony. Global, a good person can say a joke and in fact, as if not understood as friendly humor. You get it. You see, this is exactly how it works, Mara. So now I've talked to you about how spells have been cast, the purpose of why spells are cast. Now let's go into the impact of spells, why spells work. You see, spells aren't fairy dust. Of course they do, Adele. Spells aren't fairy dust. They are functional, measurable, and neurological operations. Of course, Adele. In fact, some of the worst spellcasters you find in the church. No shade on the church. Church is wonderful, right? But I have evidence here to show you how and why spells work. The first reason why spells work is because of what Harvard University calls the placebo and nocebo effect. In other words, your own belief can heal terminal illness or cause death. Beige Girl, 23. The mechanism is conscious suggestion or autosuggestion or heterosuggestion. That's Emil Coué once said. That's spell casting. So a spell works because it triggers the placebo and nocebo effect. The second reason why a spell works is because of what neuroscientists call neuroplasticity. In other words, repeated phrases and visualizations remap the brain with new neural networks. So your self-talk or the talk you get, oh, Big Hank, you just said it. Big Hank, a person after my own heart. You just said it, Big Hank. You just said it. Big Hank, you just said it. Creating your own reality. That's exactly it. Because with neuroplasticity, when you repeat things, you make them real. You make them real. The third reason, and we're going to take questions in about 5 or 10 minutes, so hold your questions, right? The third reason why spells work is because of what empaths have, this active mirror neurons. You see, mirror neurons are active in empaths because that's what helps us to create oxytocin, the bonding chemical, and we connect with other people. So with the mirror neurons, you don't just observe pain, you embody it. So empaths live inside the spells of others' trauma. That's the third reason why it works. The fourth reason why a spell works is quantum physics, a double slit experiment. Because observation collapses reality and belief chooses the outcome, spells focus observation and belief. Because the spells tell you where to focus, and then you focus on that, you make it real. And then the fifth reason why spells work is because of linguistics. And here I'm going to borrow from the work of the great Noam Chomsky, MIT's own Noam Chomsky, which says words like illegal or crazy or overreacted are neurological weaponry. So the kinds of words that I use or you use become neurological weapons to shape and control the mind. So every ritual, be it in a courtroom, a graduation, or a breakup, cast spells. Exactly, Yvonne Gyesie. That's exactly it. Every trauma response is a system of an older spell still echoing in your tissues. This is the whole game. So how do these spells trap empaths in the hell realm? The hell realm is all of this. How do you, and so is the heavenly realm. But how do empaths get trapped into this spell? You see, the hell realm isn't just a fiery pit like you're told. You see, the hell realm is the dimension of disembodiment, being disconnected from yourself. The hell realm is the place of fear. The hell realm is the place of shame. And the hell realm is the place of fragmentation. Let me say that again. The hell realm isn't just some fiery pit with some pitchforks, demon wearing horns walking around saying, yeah, 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 yeah. No. The hell realm is the dimension of when you are dissociated and disembodied. It is when you are in fear. It's when you feel shame, and it's when you feel fragmented. That's the hell realm. And empaths get trapped in the hell realm not because empaths are weak. No, that's not why empaths get trapped. It's because empaths were born to transmute this energy. But to transmute this energy, you have to understand the trap. To transmute the energy, you have to understand the trap. And the traps of the spells include the spell of self-doubt. And self-doubt was whispered to you throughout your childhood. It was repeated in relationships. You don't know what's real, right? And that severs your intuition and installs a false oracle, your abuser. The abuser becomes the authority in your life. So the way the spells work is through the spell of self-doubt. The second way the spell works is through the spell of worthlessness. I am nothing. I am nobody. And because of trauma bonds, these spells are formed through guilt, obligation, and the belief that you owe someone for loving you. Can you see how sick that is? This is spiritual blackmail disguised as a relationship. You see? And then there's this whole spell of the false identity, where you become the therapist, the priest, the good daughter, the obedient son. This is what Carl Jung, the Swiss psychotherapist, called the persona. And it's also the mask that kills the soul. Then there's the spell of addiction. Because chaos becomes comfort and you're addicted to the trauma bond. And peace becomes something you're suspicious of. That's the narcotic loop of trauma bonding in your neurons and in your spirit. You see, this is what it is. So the hell realm is the realm of your suffering. It is the realm where you're separated from truth. It's the realm where you get stuck in what the archons or these Jezebelians create. And it's a low frequency state, being in a low frequency energy. So now we've gone through all of this, and you might be asking yourself, how do you break the spell? I see your question there, Yvonne, or your comment, Yvonne Gyesie. How do you break the spell? Now we understand the spell. Thank you, Tone. We understand the spell. How do we break the spell? Well, the first way to break the spell is to know that you are under a spell. So acknowledgement and knowledge is the first. Then the second way to break it is actually to name it, name and shame it. Because when you call it out aloud, this is not love. This is control. This is not respect. This is manipulation. The moment you start to call it out, and I'm not saying you tell the narcissist you know everything they're doing, but the moment you start to label it yourself, it's almost like in meditation. When you're meditating, you find yourself drifting away the moment you name it, oh, I notice I'm drifting away, it's over. You come back to awareness. So similarly with a spell, the moment you name the spell, it begins to dissolve it. The second is energy goes where attention goes. So when you withdraw your attention from the object of your spell, which is the narcissist or the job or what have you, when you ghost it, when you silence it, when you create distance, it starves the energetic loop, and whatever is starved must necessarily fade away over time. Then when you've done that, then you come to the place of, this is what I really love when it comes to affirmations, which is really transforming the old story into a new story. This is how alchemy works, transitioning from brass to gold. So rescript the narrative by creating counter spells. So if the spell was you're not good enough, then the counter spell is I am abundant and I'm good enough. I am not broken. I am sacred. I am the writer of my own story. Then, of course, you cannot say enough about somatic rewiring, get into the body, whether it's meditation or breathing or yoga or Reiki or deep tissue massages or walking on stones and pebbles. All these things help to release the spells. Then, of course, there's some energy work that you have to go through as well. And I know I'm simplifying a lot. Just give you a preview of what this kind of work looks like. Energetic and cording or cord cutting, using prayer, using light, using sound, using salt, whether that's with a coach like myself. And if I can help you with this, or if you're curious, just book a free session on my website, innermileage.com, and we can see if we're a match. And if we're really serious about doing this, we can do this together. But energetic uncording is so key because this is how you purge yourself from this, right? And then finally, you become your own spell caster. You speak it into existence. Exactly, Yvonne. You become the primary caster of energetic spells in your life, Big Hank. Exactly, Mara. By doing this with your own rituals, by doing this with your own mantras that you come up with, by taking advantage of a full moon, and I think we have a full moon in a couple of days, I guess, right? And by subconscious programming. You see, this is what it is. How can you do a trauma for a parent who isn't a narcissist but inflicted pain off their own trauma? Well, the first thing is, are they self-aware? If they're self-aware, there's hope. If there isn't self-awareness, then the thing to do is to focus on your own healing, because everybody's responsible for their own karma and dharma. Does that answer your question, Krangzu? So why does this all matter? Why does this all matter? Let me be clear. This spiritual war is not about money or gender or race or power. It's all about who controls your field. And it's important to know that you are a generational spell breaker, curse breaker, scapegoat. And once you awaken, you not only break your spells, you become the blueprint of liberation for those around you. This is the whole game. So if this resonated with you, this is for you. And now we're going to focus on taking some questions, right? Any questions? Thank you, Krangzu. That's the whole kit and caboodle. That you focus on your own healing, not on other people's healing, right? This is the whole game. So let's take some questions. I see the first video question coming in. And on Instagram, let's take some questions on TikTok. We'll take some questions as well. Xander, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I am well. How's life treating you?
Wonderful.
So tell us, what happened to you? What's your story? Because you seem like you're spiritually adept. What's your story, Yvonne?
Well, right now I feel in my story I am at the point where I've learned and learning, and now I'm helping others come out of where they're at. You know, once we come out, we have a responsibility to help other people. It's not just about us coming into that awareness, but, you know, God has a way of putting people in your path that you connect with, where you could possibly drop that seed and somebody else could come along and help them further in their journey. So my story would take a long time, but bullet point, you know, I don't want to call people narcissists, but we do encounter people that are not aware of how they behave. And I just thank God that I'm at a point now in my journey where I can walk in forgiveness of those people because they didn't know where they were.
Wow.
And now that I know where they were energetically, I can have that forgiveness for them because that could very well be me. I could have inflicted that on someone else.
How did you come to this point? Because I sense really a potent energy spirit who's transmuted everything negative into something beautiful. And we don't want to hop on the past to admire the past, but I'm curious, how did you do it? And for anyone who's listening, who's going through this, we're all at different stages, right? Some of us are past it and we have shining the light. Some of us are just beginning to see what's happening. Some of us are on the way out. What do you tell to those on different phases of this journey about the reality of these spells and narcissistic abuse and what you can do in a practical way?
Okay. First, I had to accept my fault to a degree in this and what I allowed to come into my life and what I accepted. And once I came to that, I had to be honest with where I was and deal with that trauma myself. And once I grabbed a hold of that, I began to build on that. And you have to forgive yourself sometimes before you can learn to forgive others. I'm the kind of person where I'm my worst critic. So once I became aware of where I was and my weaknesses, I started to nurture and pour into myself. The focus wasn't on the other person and what they did to me.
Can you please say that again?
The focus was not on the other person and what they did to me. The focus was on me.
One more time, please.
Three's a charm, right? That's a word right there. I had to work on focusing on my healing and I became selfish. A lot of times when you're dealing with someone who has narcissistic characteristics or whatever, the focus is on the other person. And I am such a nurturer and a giver. I had to learn to pull back my energy to a degree. I had to set healthy boundaries and learn that saying no sometimes is not a bad word. You know, so the focus became on myself and my healing. So you have to heal yourself before you're able to actually go on and actually forgive anyone else.
This is beautiful. This is so beautiful to hear, Yvonne. And before you go, there's something I've noticed about you. See, you're wearing a necklace that has a key.
Yes.
That's speaking to me.
Yes. Divine had me buy this about a year or so ago.
Oh, Lord. Why are you wearing a necklace with a key? Because that's telling me something. I'm picking up something.
He said, I have the keys. I have the keys to my life. I have the keys to the kingdom. Now that I have the key to lock the door on the past, he's given me another key to unlock the door of the future. And this is actually a skeleton key. I don't know if you know anything about skeleton keys.
No, I don't.
But I grew up in a house in New York. It was an older home that was built like in the turn of the 20th century. And the house had skeleton keys that you could use one key to unlock every door, lock and unlock every door in the house. So God gave me a skeleton key to let me know that I have the ability to lock and unlock doors, not only for myself, but for other people.
Wow. So your words are very affirmative and filled with a lot of blessing. Because this is the time of the divine feminine. And for even masculine to tap into the feminine.
Yes, we all both have masculine and feminine.
Voila.
And if you're not careful, when you go through narcissistic abuse as a feminine in my gender, you can become very masculine in how you respond to people because, you know, when you're on one end of the spectrum where you're very nice and, you know, accommodating to people, you turn and sometimes you go the other direction and you become very hard as a female. So you have to watch when you set boundaries that you even even have to watch how you set your boundaries and the type of boundaries that you set, because you don't want to cut people completely out of your life.
Exactly right. Exactly right. What a blessing to speak with you, Yvonne. And before we let you go, any final words today that you want to share with anyone who's listening?
Well, you mentioned about the full moon that's coming up here.
Yes, yes.
People need to realize that knowing the cycles of the moon is brilliant. And whenever there's a new moon, I thank the divine and go through my thing where I thank him for a new moon cycle. It's every day is a new opportunity. Every cycle, it starts. You have the crescent coming up. You've got the full moon. You've got the new moon. Just look at that and those cycles. And for those people that may practice a religion where they think studying the moons and astrology and stuff like that may not be cool, you have to realize that if you want to talk about it, that's what the three wise men used to find the Lord and Savior. They studied the stars. They were astrologers. So we have so many tools in front of us that we kind of dismiss. But remember also that this is your journey, and you have to do what works for you. When you're healing, sometimes you may find yourself isolated. You may put yourself in there. But it's only for you to really spend time with yourself and with the Most High. Because you don't need any really influences from any other people. So I did go through a time of hibernation, but it wasn't until maybe 2 months ago where I was told it's time to reemerge. Because of what I've gone through and what I've learned, I'm able to help those people that I can.
Well, I want to say this, Yvonne. I'm so grateful for you, right?
Oh, wow. Same here.
We're blessed.
I feel like I've met my soul tribe.
We are in this together. It's all frequency and energy and vibration, right?
Yes.
So this is Juan Luis Guerra. The song is titled La Travesía, meaning the journey across the void. This is Dominican Republic's own Juan Guerra. This is for you. Woo! That's for you, because every day, every that's okay. Every day is a celebration. The point is that we must get in the habit of celebrating every day, no matter what.
Absolutely.
And that's how we create things where it's celebrated. So thank you so much. You're welcome back anytime, and wishing you the best for the weekend, Vaughn. Yes?
Thank you.
Ciao.
Take care.
This is the message. This is the message. You heard it. Let's see if you have any other questions. That was amazing. This is alchemy in progress. You saw it. Thank you so much, Yvonne.
You're welcome.
There's no one like you. Ciao. So you see what's happening? These spells, right? These spells can be dealt with. How do you co-parent with the narcissist, Global Cafes? The best way to co-parent with a narcissist is to realize that there's no such thing as co-parenting. There's only separate parenting. And you, as the non-narcissistic parent, have a duty to create an enabling environment so whenever your child is with you, they feel real love, real nurturing, and safety. And eventually, that becomes how they're able to tell the difference between manipulation and love. You don't have to alienate the other parent. Waste of time. This is how you do it. I don't know if that answered your question over there. Did that answer your question? Global Cafes, let me know. This is what it is, Tony. This is the story at Dawn Marie. So let's see if anyone on Instagram has a question, or I might just invite random people and see who wants to talk, right? Who wants to get in here and share a thing or two. This is the whole kit and caboodle. This is the whole idea. Tony, how you doing? 100. What do you mean 100? What's going on, Tony? Disla, thank you. And Isabel, you're right. Astrology and numerology explain everything because the whole world is all about sacred geometry. That's what it's about. And that's what the whole world is about. So anybody who wants to come and let us know if you have a question, let us know. But you see, you reverse the spells by casting counter spells. And what are these counter spells? These counter spells are simply you reprogramming yourself. Hey, DJ Bella, how you doing?
I'm excellent. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Tell us what happened to you. What's your story?
You know what? I actually popped in here because I wanted to get Yvonne's app because the stuff that she was saying was so absolutely powerful.
Yeah.
The point about the skeleton key unlocking every door and learning how to close the door on your past so that you can unlock the door for your future. I was over here like sobbing.
Oh.
That was I want to follow her because she's got some words and you have some words. I already followed you.
Thank you.
And so I appreciate that I ran across your live today.
No, yeah, I'm so grateful that you did. And you can find, it's not mine. I can't give out her name, but she's on Instagram. So maybe next time go on Instagram, you might see her there, right? But she's a powerful spirit. And the reason why this is resonating with you is you've just opened up your own skeleton key.
Definitely. I'm definitely feeling like that.
So,
I was telling somebody the other day, we all go through different storms in our life, but there are opportunities to learn and to see things clearer than you could before. And even though it's painful to go through things in your life, especially in particularly storms, if you think of yourself in the middle of the ocean,
exactly.
You have an opportunity to reveal holes in your boat.
Exactly.
That you can patch.
Exactly right.
Aware of previously.
Exactly. So let me ask you this, because I'm hearing a lot of peace in your voice. How were you able to transmute these spells into peace, DJ Bella?
I am a very introspective person, and I'm assuming a lot of the people that are hanging out with me on your live today, and yourself included, we're all very introspective people. So we think about the good we do, we think about the wrong we do, we think about how the world perceives us, how other people perceive us, we think about, how we would like to be perceived versus how we are perceived, and we're just constantly trying to work out how to improve ourselves and how to find ourselves in a better place and how to create safe spaces for ourselves. Because at some point, like Yvonne was saying, you realize that you have the key to everything. So you really can't look outside of yourself. You have to constantly search within for the answers that you're trying to find, for forgiveness, for profound love, for understanding, for guidance, for the divine. You have to look inside of yourself because you're not going to find it outside of yourself. All you can do is care and stare for other people. And so really internalizing that has helped me.
You said it. You said this is such beautiful words. And I just want to encourage you to keep radiating your light. And you're welcome back here anytime, DJ Bella. And I really appreciate your kind words. And you're definitely a beacon of hope to someone who's listening, who's trying to figure out how do we do this? Because it's always good to hear it resonated from others as well, right? So people know that I can do this too. It's not just what this person is saying. There are others who are saying it, which means that there's evidence that this can change. And that's what you represent, you see?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I definitely feel like the work comes from the inside out. And then you're able to tune into all of the other things. You're able to use spells when they're happening to you. You're able to perceive when there's a spirit moving over you or it's something that somebody else carried into your house. I walk around with my sage like, okay, I'm trying to lose weight. I need the spirit of gluttony that came in with that last person to get up out my house.
You're gone.
You were not invited.
You are not invited, like the movie Sinners. No invitation, no doormats, right?
No doormats here. You were not invited here.
Oh.
I think you can perceive a lot more of that stuff when you're centered within yourself. And centering is a constant practice. Staying balanced is a constant practice. It's not something that's automatic, or once you get there, you're just there. You're in nirvana. That's not how it works.
That's exactly right. You said it. You said it. You said it. You said it. And I want to thank you so much for your energy. And I'm sending you lots of good energy on this wonderful day. Yes?
Yes, I'm following you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And how can I find you on Instagram as well?
Same name, Inner Mileage. Same name. Same name. Yes?
All right, sounds good. I'll get out the way so somebody else can
That's all good. That's all good, DJ Bella. One love. We appreciate you, yes?
Yes, I appreciate you.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love. Yes. So in the background now, I have Obatala by Mongo Santa Maria playing. Obatala. You know what Obatala means, right? Sacred energy. So this is what it's about, right? I don't know if anyone has any other questions. Anyone else? This is the story. This is the story. Isabel, this is exactly. Tony, I'm glad. Woman clothed in the sun. Thank you too. Woo! This is Cuba son Mongo Santa Maria. Mongo Santa Maria. Darlene, I have to play this next week, I promise. This is spiritual music. You see, Gags, when does the loneliness end? The loneliness ends when you realize there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. And realize, as Yvonne said a few minutes earlier, that hermit mode, Joseph Campbell talks about this quite a bit, that hermit mode is a key part of the journey. Because when you're in hermit mode, it's not punishment from the universe. It's so you can be in a place, a cocoon, to really connect with what's deep inside you. And when you become comfortable with boredom, comfortable with your own pain, comfortable with, exactly, Don Marie, comfortable with, thank you so much, Yvonne, comfortable with discomfort, comfortable with not having your phone ringing all the time and not even having someone to call when you need to reflect. This is when there's only one phone call to make, and that phone call is a spiritual phone call. It's you on you. And once you begin to get more comfortable with that, you begin to fall deeply in love with yourself, and you may even become very addicted to spending time on your own. But from that point, you integrate into a whole self, away from your fragmented self. And once that's complete, the anonymous, Darlene, you're right, then you are ready to embody being in the world, but not of it. You see? This is the whole point. So loneliness ends when the lesson is complete. You see, because if you went out there right now, you're going to attract more narcissists because you're looking to assuage loneliness rather than looking for alignment and resonance. You see the difference? Gags? You heard me, Gags? This is what it is. So that's the message, right? Alone is not lonely. You said it, Dawn Marie. There's a time for rebirth. Exactly. It's break time. You need that break time to become a lion. Exactly. To find the star in you. And then you can go out there in the world and be unencumbered, unimpacted by the world. In fact, the other thing happens because you've been there forever because you've been asking yourself about loneliness rather than asking yourself, what is this doing for me? You've been asking yourself, what is this doing to me? When you start to ask yourself, Gags, what is this doing for me? You get deeper. And Gags, we're due for a chat. Just book a complimentary session on my website, innermileage.com, and let's talk, Gags. And no commitment. It's just to go deeper into some of the things you're dealing with, because I'm sensing that you're having some blocks, and you can overcome those blocks. This is the whole thing. Anonymous one, I'm learning and trusting my intuition and inner voice more. That's exactly. Nikki Adele, I enjoy my solitude. There's nothing like it. Going to the beach, going to the parks, traveling alone, going to dinner alone, being by yourself, and observing society. This is how you do it. And you can become comfortable in your cocoon, exactly. But it's just a phase, Yvonne. Exactly. Don't worry, people that are always seeking others are lonely. You can be the loneliest person in the crowd. Have you ever been in a crowd and felt lonely? So you realize it's not about being lonely. It's about resonance and alignment. Resonance and alignment with yourself first. That's exactly right, Yvonne. That's exactly it. You see, this is the whole kit and caboodle. So this is all about energy and vibrations, right? This is what it's about. and releasing these spells, releasing yourself from these spells, right? This is what it's about. Releasing yourself from all these spells by casting counter spells. Casting counter spells. This is how you win. So I don't know if anyone has a question, but in the background now we're playing Spells by London's own Green Tea Peng. She's talking about breaking spells. This is Spells by Green Tea Peng. You see, this is all about high vibrations. So this is the message, my folks. And I want to wish you the best for the weekend. I want to send you lots of good energy and realize that you are the programmer in your life. You are the programmer in your life. If you can believe that, and then know that. Shifting from knowing to belief, from believing to knowing, excuse me. And how do you get over these spells? Listen to what Green Tea Peng is saying. So good energy to you. Stay free. And freedom is an inside game. It doesn't matter what the outside is telling you. Get free within first. Forgive, release, love thyself. Validate you, Dawn Marie. You said it. And we'll continue this again on Monday. And if you have any questions or you want to know how to get in touch with me, you can book a free session on my website, innermileage.com. If you're serious about your inner mileage, then reach out, right? Whether we work together or not is immaterial, but we'll get you the good information you need to send you on your journey. And if there's a match, then we work together. So keep healing, keep ascending. One love, all. One love, one love, one love, one love. Thank you so much. One love, one love. One love, one love, one love, one love.